to the Black and White Sessions. We are excited. This is a great day.
It's a great day.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
This is the incredibly talented Aubrey Logan.
Thanks, Keri.
Hi,
guys.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad it finally worked out and we were able to get you down here to do a session with us.
Me too.
I've
been trying to.
We know, yes.
Yeah.
We've definitely been trying to make this happen.
Yeah.
But things have been happening for you, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And, but I want to kind of go backwards a little bit because I want us, before we get to all the exciting stuff that's happening currently, where are you from?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning too. Okay, I want to know where
too.
you're from. I know you ended up along the way at Berkeley, but bring me up to speed.
I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I was born and raised there. I went to Berkeley College of Music after that as a college student, and then in a long-winded sort of way ended up moving to Los Angeles, and that's kind of the order of things for me. And I've been in Los Angeles for a few years now, about 3 or 4 now.
And why LA? You're in Berkeley, you're on the East Coast. Why?
Well, I am a West Coast girl, and LA just feels a little more like home maybe than some of the East Coast cities, which I love to visit and love to work in. And I started coming back and forth to Los Angeles a little bit for some jobs after I graduated college and even while I was in college. And every time I came here, I kind of went, ooh, I really like that there are opportunities here for lots of different arenas. Like there's film, there's television, because music is in all of these things. And I liked the fact that there was a possibility for all of those things to happen in one spot.
And so was the goal coming here, I mean, obviously you have a wonderful artistry situation happening. So was artistry kind of the goal of coming to LA, and just were you kind of hoping maybe some of the other things like studio session work and things like that might kind of fall into the equation?
Well, yes to all. Artistry was always the goal and always the prime goal, but all of these other things like session work, and it's all about meeting people. And the joys of meeting people just for the sake of being able to make music with them. And also, at times, we help each other with our career, sometimes without even trying. So, yes to all, but in summary, I'm an artist at heart and soul, and that's everything sort of feeds into that goal for me.
And you're a trombone player.
I'm a trombone player. Which
is, something that does kind of set you apart and is somewhat unique, because you don't really hear many vocalists / trombone players.
You don't. I probably know them all.
Yeah, you probably do, I would say. Because you're the only one I know. So, okay, so let's talk, before we get to present day, you moved to LA.
Yeah.
A lot of singers move to LA from nowhere
Wherever.
America, and or wherever, know, and they come here and you're like, okay, I'm here, and I need to just start getting myself out there.
Right.
And you've kind of walked this path now. And let's talk a little bit about that, because, there's some ups and downs.
A little bit.
And talking about people, we were chatting about that a little bit. Like, how to kind of go in the ins and outs of all of that.
Absolutely, sure. Yeah, well, I came here after, I wanted to come here, but then, I met Pat Boone, who's here in LA. I sang at a fundraiser for him, with him. His manager became my manager. Now we're working harder than ever after about 4 years of hashing out who am I, what am I doing. We're working harder than ever, and he's remained just a stand-up guy. His name, Hi Mark, how are you?
Hi, Mark.
But speaking of stand-up guys and stand-up girls, there are clearly a lot of people in the industry that are out for number one, out for themselves. That's just sort of human nature. And then at best, and then at worst, there are some downright bullies in the music industry and in the entertainment industry. But I think I've learned over the last 4 years that you really can work with nice people. It is possible, and it should be that way. When I say nice, I don't mean flowery and unicorns and bubbles and things, but I mean like people with integrity are in the industry, and it's fun to find them. And Tony Guerrero, who might be standing behind this camera right now, is one of those stand-up people that introduced me to several people in the Los Angeles area that I work with still to this day. So It's been really great.
Which is so nice. It's
Yeah.
nice that, you know, you've had an opportunity to meet some really well-connected people and that have given you some great opportunities.
Yeah.
Which kind of then, you know, we're just going through this really fast, but then how did it come to be? Obviously, you met Scott Bradley.
Oh yeah, I met Scott Bradley.
And how did that all come to be? Because now
Through people.
You know, now we know Postmodern
Right.
Jukebox. It's
Yes.
gone hugely crazy successful, and you've been able to be a part of that.
Yeah, so I met Scott Bradley through a fantastic singer by the name of Shoshana Bean.
Yes.
Who, if you haven't heard her, I'm really sorry,
of course,
because you've
yeah.
got to check her out.
We're all fans of
Yeah, we're all
Shoshana.
fans of Shoshana. So I had known about Postmodern Jukebox for a while, and they're a fantastic group. They take, you know, new songs and make them sound old, which I was sort of already doing in a way. And Scott and I probably, I had heard of Scott, and when I met Scott, he said he had heard of what I was doing, but we didn't meet until Shoshana gave somebody a phone call and said, hey, do a video. So we did a video. We did Bad Blood first. That was last summer, and then since then I've been on a world tour with them and leaving again to go on a world tour with them again.
Which is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how's that been, the touring with them? How has that experience been for you?
Well, really great, because everybody who sings and plays with Postmodern Jukebox is really great.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of inspiration all the time.
Yeah.
Constant.
Which
and
is nice.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Well, then let's also touch on an album that you've been working on.
I'm making one.
And yes, you're currently making it.
I'm currently making it.
But by the time you see this interview, it will already be available. So now you can just
Yay.
go on iTunes and all the things and find
All the
her
things.
album.
Thanks.
Yes. Yes, it's great. So things are going well.
Things are going well. So I'm making an album of all the music that I like best. So it's, and when I say music I like best, it's a good bit of originals. Most of the album is original music, and then there's a few covers, really fun covers on the record that I think people will recognize immediately and enjoy. And you know, we never discount 90s hip hop as possible jazz. So MC Hammer might have inspired a cover for me on this album.
Okay.
But
well,
yeah,
clearly you weren't alive most likely when those songs
I wasn't.
happened. And I was. Those were my years.
Right.
So
So maybe one
90s
of those.
R&B, my favorite.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's a lot of originals on there that I've written the past few years and performed mostly live at shows. I'm a little bit old school. I perform my songs before I record them. And I know a lot of times in the pop world that's the opposite.
Yeah.
But these are the songs that have been near and dear to my heart, and some of the audience has said, we really want to listen to this in our car. Where is it? And I've had to say, I don't have it.
Yeah.
But now I do. So that's what the album's made up of.
And lastly, I'm just curious because I feel like you kind of touch on a lot of different genres, and obviously you have a lot of different inspiration. Who are you most inspired? What do you listen to? What have been some of your favorites?
That's funny. I just made a Spotify playlist called My 16-Year-Old Self.
Okay.
And it's on my Spotify. People go follow me on Spotify. And what I've noticed is I'm a little bit of an old soul, so there were times when I binged on Ella Fitzgerald, and that was all I ever listened to for maybe a year of my life in a room with the door closed. But I like people like the Alabama Shakes right now, for example. When you hear them, you're hearing neo soul and prog rock and all the best elements of all of those things tied together, and then they throw in wait, did that sound a little bit jazzy? And that's sort of what the record is starting to sound like as I'm in the studio now. So, I mean, on that 16-Year-Old Self playlist, it's the music I binged on when I was 16. And it's just the music I remember the most. It's not necessarily music that came out then. But, you know, there's Ella Fitzgerald on that. There's Yes on that, like Owner of a Lonely Heart and Roundabout. And Buddy Rich is on there, and some Maroon 5 is on there. Old school Maroon 5 is on there. So a good hit pop song has always been very close to my heart. I just love hearing that, but I also can't get away from some interesting chords that are unexpected, that take you on a journey, and I want to throw that in there too. And I feel like the people I like most, like Yes, and Buddy Rich, and Ella Fitzgerald, and Maroon 5, have achieved fusing those sounds together. I'm the internet child. I didn't grow up in one city listening to one thing.
Right.
I grew up listening to the internet.
It's kind of served you well in that way.
It has.
Really, to kind of open you up to being able to hear a lot of more obscure and rare live performances, things like that you would have been able to do.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot thank you enough for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
We are excited for you and just can't wait to see all that's coming. And we just know that we'll be looking back and saying, oh, it was so great that we had Aubrey Logan with us.
I'm coming back. This is the most fun session I've had in a long time.
Okay, well, we're thrilled to hear it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.